Heads up, there are spoilers, so if you haven't seen the majority of season 5 of Stranger Things, here's your warning. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Stranger Things, Danger Things, season 5 is not good. Compared to the previous seasons, this is definitely the weakest one. The first 7 episodes felt nothing but build up to the grand epic battle. Everyone wears plot armor, characters casually get out of life-threatening situations. Vecna is starting to become a creepy ass dude who likes to put tentacle tubes in kids' mouths. There's a lot of references to Wrinkle in Time, like Mr. What's Up. At last minute, they decided to make Holly the central character, who is played by a 14-year-old portraying a 7-year-old girl. Steve goes back to his season 1 counterpart, which takes away his purpose as a likable character. Dustin gets a bit sidetracked by grieving over his buddy Eddie during the first 6 episodes, but during the midpoint of episode 6, Steve and Dustin decided to reconcile with one another. They just started to be bitching and doping over one another, talking shit. It was so fucking annoying. I didn't want to see this from the finale of Danger Things. Robin turns to Sonic the Hedgehog, where she becomes overhyped about everything for no reason.
Steve hears that all the time and he goes in anyway, don't you, Steve?
What the hell's wrong with you?
I feel like Mike barely does anything that contributes to the final battle. Lucas has a lot to do by protecting Max, who is in a coma. There's a lot of characters that I thought were gonna die in this season, like Steve, or maybe one of the adults like Joyce or Hopper, but nope. Not a lot of people die. It seems like no one dies except for a few characters that I don't give a shit about. The one character that was the standout performance was Noah Schnapp as Will. Say what you will about the actor, but he does a fantastic job portraying Will in this final season, better than what I've seen him before. His character coming out as gay is what helps defeat Vector. Jim Hopper decides to turn into Solid Snake. It seems that the majority of the higher pay actors just want to go home, like Winona Ryder and Millie Bobby Brown. Speaking of Millie Bobby Brown, her Botox gives more of an emotional performance than the actress herself. I thought she was really bad, the weakest one in the series. It seems that she's starting to get pretty old for this role as 11.
The dirtier the better.
We get a scene where Jonathan proposed to Nancy in the cum room. Linda Hamilton and the military was unnecessary. What's with all of these militaries and dingus things? Besides Will, another standout performance comes from a man named Keegan Descheg during this important scene.
Better see you there, Harrington.
Friday night? You wish.
This is peak acting. Give this guy an Oscar. The final episode of Random Things was mid. Sure, the final fight felt as kids playing D&D against a giant kaiju CGI monster, but how come the Demogorgons didn't show up? Were they on vacation? Did Vector give them paid time off? Were they spending time with their families over the holiday season? I'm just wondering where all these Demogorgons were during the final battle, because it seems that Vector was easily defeated without any sort of help from any of his Demogorgon minions. Come on, Duffel Brothers, get your shit together. The epilogue after the grand battle was a bit emotional. Got to say goodbye to all the main cast. Reminds me of the ending of Return of the King. Starting with the adults, Jim and Joyce decide to get married. The older teens decide to see each other once a month, which is bullshit because half these teens have to drive at least 11 to 12 hours to see one another, which is incredibly impossible to do once every month. I would suggest maybe doing like 6 months or maybe a year of seeing each other. The younger kids play one final D&D campaign before they decide to grow their balls and move on with their lives. Mike makes some bullshit story about how Elle survived the epic battle and that she's basically somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know. I'll go see if she's available. Maybe she's in Fayetteville.
The dirtier the better.
After that, Holly and her friends decide to become the new Stranger Things, with this being the final line of the entire series. I think Manager Things had a disappointing finale, but it's not as terrible as the Game of Thrones finale. This show truly captures 80s and Stephen King nostalgia that unites everyone from all ages. I don't think we'll ever get a show like Micro Things in a very long time. Thank you for checking out this video. I'm gonna listen to what Steve is cooking up next. Take care.
Milk duds in our popcorn with extra butter.